Alrighty here. So first step, we're going to be cutting out the front and back of the birdhouse. I decided to do 14 inches long. You can really make them however you want to make them, whatever sizes, but I decided to do 14 inches. So there's one, there's two, and we're on to this next step. So step number 2, we're cutting out the sides. You want to make the sides a little bit shorter. I decided to do 4 inches, really, because I want to make my house into a rectangle. So we're cutting out 2 rectangular pieces here, 4 inches long. I should have been holding it by its base on the right, but I didn't. But here we go, and cut. Now, next, we're moving over to the table saw. I'm lowering the blade down to about 1/16 of an inch. I just wanted to kiss the board. We're going to be making little slats into the board, really for artistic sake, just so the house looks a little more realistic. And then we're going to be making a cut every 3/4 of an inch. So I'm looking down at the ruler that's on the table saw, and we're sliding. And we go to the next board and we slide. And then to the end, we slide. And then we move it over 3/4 of an inch. And we repeat the process. Now, for time's sake, I didn't show me cutting each 4 boards 6 slots over and over again, but you get the process. So now I'm marking where I'm going to be putting the bird holes at, where the birds are going to be entering the house. I measured them into thirds, so I'm going to be putting 3 holes into the board. Right here, I'm using the drill press. We're using an 1.25 Forstner bit to make the holes. So we're doing 1 hole, then 2 holes. Guess what's coming next? Hole number 3. There she blows. Alright. Now we have holes. Now it's time to assemble your pieces. I decided to use a little bit of glue, and we're using a nail gun attached to a compressor, and I'm using 1.25 nail. Looks nice. Boom, boom, boom. And onto the back. So glue, boom, glue. And nails. I successfully did not nail my finger today. That was one success of the day. And I'm happy. Alrighty. Now I'm going back to the miter saw. And we're going to be making our trusses. So I'm making 3 trusses. I decided to do a 30-degree pitch on the truss because I wanted the back of it to be a little squared off. And let's see. So 1, 2, and there's number 3. So, boom, pretty. Step number probably 7 or 8. I don't remember, but we're making our supports on the front of the house. So I decided to make 4 supports. This is the whole beam, and then I cut them into 4ths. So I gotta make the whole beam. So there it is. Then what I'm doing here is I'm stapling the supports onto the beams. I decided to do a little Y shape just because I thought it looked nice instead of just doing a traditional solid beam. Now right here I figured out that one of my supports wasn't, or one of my trusses wasn't cut correctly, so I had to make a new truss and I cut it out. So always double check your work, make sure it's proper, or at the end you'll be not so happy. All right, on to the foundation. So I have a solid board foundation. I decided to do 1 inch on all 3 sides and then 3 inches on the front. Now it's time to nail in the trusses into the supports. So I nailed them straight down. Boom, boom, boom. Next step, I measured off where the trusses were onto the foundation so that I could draw a line and then nail the supports down into the foundation so that they are nice and sturdy. And before I forget, if you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, comment, like the video. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Alrighty, then we are testing our product, shaking it about. So as you can see here, I'm onto the roof. I didn't show the roof being cut because I didn't cut it, to be honest with you. My dad did. We were kind of running out of time. But essentially, the roof is made almost identically to the outside of the house. You cut them about 14 inches long, and then you just make more slats into the roof, making it look like, like shingles, like a roof. So now I'm trimming off the roof, just making it flush on both sides, making it look nice. I did notice a little nail poking out at the end, so I had to cut that off. Then we're on to sanding. So we're using a 220 sandpaper, palm sander, sanding it off. And then this is me basking in my glory. Realizing that I just made a birdhouse.
I made this. Who knew I could do this? He didn't think I could do it. I know I can do it. I'm just kidding. He knew I could do it.
Alrighty.
Black coffee?